Hey, it's Friday. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yes. I love it. I feel good. Got my Friday night coffee. So incredibly irresponsible to drink coffee in the evening, but on Friday night, I'll do it. I'll do it. Freedom! I got some stuff to demo. If we go back and look at the status screen for just a moment, I can tell you that today I'm going to start working on the Deathbox, which is in the bottom left-hand corner, and I'll demo a little bit of that. I just want to let people know that even though you're going to see a demo of the boot sequence yet again, because that's one of the things I did yesterday, I'm also going to move on to the Deathbox and demo that a little bit. Alright, so yeah, let's demo. Also, this is a game. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. It's a 3D puzzle solving adventure game. You could even say it's a block pushing game, but you gotta understand how I came into this thing. I felt like it was almost a joke if I put the box element into the game, and I was going to work it into the story as something completely tedious that the player hated, and everyone wasted their time pushing around blocks, and you were supposed to break free of that. But along the way, I discovered a mechanic for pushing blocks that changed it quite a bit. So there's no feel of you're inside a crowded apartment and you're moving in all the boxes, and in order to get over to one space you got to move some boxes around so you can have a tiny little area to go in over there and packing the boxes up carefully. No, it's nothing like that. Boxes never get stuck. You just destroy them and then they go back to a starting spot. When you push them, they fly across the room. There's a happy violence to the whole thing. So it's just not the same thing as a Sokoban box. And I say that with all due respect to people that are making decent games within that genre, and including one that's codenamed Sokoban that I do really want to play when it comes out. Jonathan Blow's project. Larry Merck made a pretty awesome Sokoban game. God, what was that called? What was that called? Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's do demo. Well, gotta start these things with a demo. So, first off, let me adjust my screen so it fits inside the broadcast area. I'm going to show you the starting screen of the whole game. First level starting screen. And there's a correction I made towards the end of it that I'll demo. Oh, I said all that and then it went to someplace else. Okay, let's actually restore. Oh yeah, last night I made it so that the text on all the different levels would show up whether or not it happens to be the level that you have currently selected. It used to only show the text on the currently selected level, and now I just have it on all of them. That was a request made by Schick, because he was like, it's hard for me to scan through all these to find the one I want when I have to slowly go and look at each one to see the text. Anyways, in the egg, starting level. Changes made to it last night. Bunny Tails, that's what it was called. The Larry Merck box pushing game. The yellow clouds are an addition made 2 nights back. They do the job of obscuring a little bonus didn't want players starting the game to be distracted by a present that's off to the east. Okay. So when you start up this level, you're opening this portal thing. And the squares are in certain locations. You just have to walk on them to find them. When you make it go into one continuous shape, it activates the portal. Okay. Now, I am actually apprehensive right now because there was an intermittent bug that had been bothering me for the longest time. And in a very hacky way, I got the bug to go away. But I'm worried about it because it was intermittent in the first place. I actually replayed this test 7 times in a row just to verify, is it really gone? Is it really gone? The bug is that as M is thrown up into the air, her animation is not played for her body, and she just looks like a lifeless Barbie doll being thrown up in the air. That's the bug. But if it works correctly, then you'll see her curl up into a little ball and then plunge deep into the portal. Here we go. Apprehensive. What if that bug comes back? I'll be really upset. It took me about 2 hours to fix last night, and I'm sure there's some aspect of the animation controller within Unity that I'm ignorant of, but that thing is an inscrutable black box of randomness in my mind, and I think they need to document it better or fix some bugs, one of the two things. Because I read the docs, I set things up in a way that made sense. I tried different things that were orthogonal to what should be the... Anyways, enough ranting. Ranting doesn't help. You'd be surprised how little value there is in ranting. Let's go into a level that I've not opened in a long time. I did open it today before this session, but this is a strange level. I think you'll see what I mean. It's not actually a level. It's supposed to be a hidden room that's put inside of another level, which demonstrates something. So it's called the Deathbox. It's there's some story that plays through when you're inside of it. This mouth that's in the middle will talk to you, will sing to you actually, and you can see these floating knives up above M. They're all pointing wherever she goes. And then we've got walls with a pattern that is moving toward you, so it sort of looks like the floor is sinking down all the time. So yeah, so M goes here the first time that she dies in the game. There's a song that plays, and the mouth sings along with it. He's a sinister figure. He's called the Maw. And he's in charge of resurrecting M. And what he gets across is that it's a painful and sadistic process, but in the end, it will revive her and put her back into life again. And it hurts. It's nasty. It's mean, but this is what every character that dies within this world of the game goes through whenever they die. So M had thought that death worked the same as previous universes that she'd been inside of, but it doesn't. It's totally different here in this universe that she's been born into. She comes out of this experience horrified at the experience of death. She's alive. Somebody else that she killed by accident, Billy, is there also. She is very apologetic now that she's been through this experience. And at this point, she renounces any form of violence and she becomes a pacifist. And it's necessary to show something that gives a large emotional impact to death in order for it to explain why M doesn't want to push anyone, doesn't want to do anything violent towards anyone, because she's lived through this terrible experience. So I resurrected this scene, this Unity scene today. It's been mothballed for close to a year. I think a little bit under a year. And predictably, it always happens with Unity upgrades. Some stuff doesn't work anymore. So I gotta figure some of the stuff not working is just I changed my project code around. Other stuff I think is just Unity works different now. That's what often happens when I upgrade, is things break. So I've made out a list of all the things I need to do to complete the Deathbox, and I'm going to start working on them. I'm not sure how far I'll get in this session today, but I got my coffee. It's the weekend. I should be able to go for a good 3.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer, before I knock off and have dinner and hang out with my fam. So yeah, let's get to it. So let me see. Here's a list of all the things. First one, get the Moss face working again. So right now it's showing the face, but the code I wrote that would UV to different parts of the texture to show that part of the texture is just not working at all. It used to work fine. It doesn't now. So the ability to display all of his visemes, which are the lip movements that correspond to spoken utterances, that needs to work again. Then there's some code to play the song, and there's some code that, if I'm honest with myself, it had a few bugs in it, but it would synchronize the mouth with the music in this file called the lips file. That I don't think I'll get going tonight because I need to generate a new lips file. Anyways. So that probably comes later, like maybe tomorrow. I will go nuts listening to that song over and over again. So at some point I'll need to figure out some way where I can keep working on everything without listening to the same song again and again and again. Want to have subtitles pop up that correspond to the lyrics in the song. Then there's some animated events. These two, I might actually create a timeline, like Cicada, a frequent stream chatter, suggested. But the knives, they're supposed to plunge in at certain points in the song that correspond to the song. When the knives hit M, there should be like these explosions of blood, similar to when she dies other places. And then once I have this all working really nice, I want to move it over to the scene it ultimately belongs in instead of this kind of working scene. It's a little bit faster to iterate by having just the part that M is supposed to be inside of in a smaller scene. It'll start faster. And then once it's in the correct host scene, I will have to make some transition code to and from the Deathbox So that's basically it. And that's a lot. I'm not doing it all tonight. I think this one I'll get done tonight. This one I'll get done tonight. And then I think I'll see where I'm at after I finish these two things and see what I want to take on after that. So that's what's going on. And I'm starting now. So there's this code here. It does modify the texture, offset, and scale of the main texture. I know it does because if I uncomment this, it moves it off to like a space that doesn't really match great. One thing I could do see, when these get set, they're really off. Oh, you know what? This might be my fault instead of Unity's. So if I go to the face sheet, yeah, this is probably my fault. I always have these big rants. This is another reason why you shouldn't rant, because more than half the time it's your own fault. Yeah, so when I fixed... Did I fix this here? Let's see what changes I made to face sheet. I can go to Git and take a look at that. Git diff assets project. What directory are you in? Faces, okay. Let's see, scripts, faces. Yeah, it would be a lot earlier. I always forget. There's a way to get the history on one file and get history of file. No. Get log p. There we go. Okay, now this is starting to make sense. So I'm asking for the head bottom rect, passing in an emotion, and what I need to instead pass is this new base emotion index. Okay. Yeah, and then much earlier I've got basically the whole file being dumped in here. Huh. So I've only made the one set of changes to this. Okay. Got it. Got a good chance of making this work without having to redo it in a substantial way. Oh no, but look, it's already using the base emotion index. So I already did some refactoring there, but let me... Huh. Okay, I think the talking mouth rect would be off though. Okay. Let me see what base emotion index is set to when it comes in here. The Visine will be rest. True? Yes. Okay. 0. So that should just grab what? The neutral. So it'll go into face sheet, head bottom rect. Size of the texture, 1024, that's probably still true. I didn't really mess with that, so it should be true still. Anyways, this is a percentage rect. Wait, is this going to work? Yeah, 11 emotions. What are we on? 6? Okay, fine. Okay, and this will be 0. Okay. So the offset will be 0.8. Or 0.75. It's flipped. Scale 0.3 and 0.1, meaning should be 1/3 widthwise, and height should be 1/10. Let me open up the texture that it is drawing from as a source. Doesn't seem quite right, if I'm honest. It did work at one point, though. Question is, how could this have ever worked? That's it. And maybe it does line up. Okay, it lines up. Okay, so if I take this, I come back to the MAW face sheet, plug that in. Let's make this no, let's go like that. And then let's make this be 50% so I can see what's up. Yeah, okay, so this is lining up correctly. So I said for the neutral emotion, we want this. Okay, then it said 1/3 of the face sheet. That seemed off. Because a third would, like I would expect it to be, oh, well, you know what? I bet it's not 1/3. I bet if I look at the scale, it's actually 0.25. I bet. Yes, okay. Yeah, you do the mouse over and then the quick view of it will round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so it's 0.25 and then 0.09. Okay, that's fine. So it seems sensible to me. Like, it doesn't seem crazy or anything like that. Another thing I could do is see what the starting offset and scale are for the render texture before I change it, just to get a sense of what's expected, because in the editor I have the UV set in such a way that you could actually see the face, see this same face here. So I could look at what those are. There might also be something weird going on with Pro Builder too. All right. I don't want to save this. See, this is what it does. It sets the UV coordinates, and then you just see blankness because the whatever section of the UV it's set doesn't have anything in it. I don't know where it actually put it. Maybe there's some kind of coordinate flipping issue. I don't know. But one thing I think I can do is I can comment this out and do Let's just run in the debugger. This will let me easily compare what should be set here versus what I do set it to. Okay, old scale. Weird. So the old scale is just show 100% of the texture. That's what 1 and 1 means to me. But that's not actually what's being shown. Yeah, I don't get it. Old offset, let's look at that. 0, 0. Something changed. Something changed. Maybe it's like doing something like calling whatever the starting UVs are the basis for scaling and offsetting. So maybe like whatever I set it to start out is mapped to 0 and 1. 0 for the offset and 1, 1 for the scale. So that would be new behavior. Maybe ProBuilder's changed. You know, I set some UV stuff in ProBuilder. Maybe it has some sort of abstraction layer over the UV, which would be unwelcome. Well, I could replace the texture, the object that shows the face sheet texture with just a unity object. There's nothing too complex about that object. It's just a plane. And then maybe this code would work. I could simply remove the ProBuilder objects from the existing game object. Okay, let's do file save. And then Okay, so if I do that, then if I just want to revert some changes, it'll be pretty easy. Git is good for doing that. Okay, so let's first try, let's just remove the friggin' Pro Builder stuff from here. So I can do that by selecting the object, the MAW, Tools, Pro Builder, strip Pro Builder scripts in selection. Okay. I just want to confirm also that it will do the same coordinates when I come in. Okay, old offset 0, 0. Old scale 1, 1. Same. Okay. Nope, that did not solve it. So let's just, oh. It just keeps it all in the settings JSON? Oh, I haven't saved anything yet, that's why. That's why. All right, let's do another object. All right, just a Unity plane. And we'll set scale out so it covers the whole thing. Okay, I can see its mouth. It does look like I've got maybe the whole thing flipped around, so I guess let's do that. Okay, it's got the whole thing set. See what else is over here. take the first one and disable the mall controller, so then I know when it gets called, it's only calling it for this guy here. Okay, and then I will set the breakpoint again. And we'll see what happens. The old offset and old scale actually makes sense in this case. All right, then let's make sure that the name of this is, okay, it's the Ma2, good. Okay, that is probably going to work. Yeah, it's just up so close, I can't really see what's going on. But what do we got here? Okay, it looks basically right to me. There's positioning issues, but I think I can work through all of those. Yeah. Okay, so you get this where it should go. And I think I didn't, the dimensions I picked for it were not bad. I might tweak them a tiny bit, but not a lot, really. Don't need much there. Okay. Then I'll take this back down. Let's put it wherever the other one is. It's Z fighting, but I expected that. Let's take the other one. Hide it. There. So this guy, let me just position it correctly. There's a gap here, but I solved this the last time with this black box. I just moved it in so that it filled in that gap. I think that's pretty good. So to make sure I hold on to the settings, I want to copy the transform, because as soon as I stop playing, it's going to disappear. Dang it, I clicked on a different app. Concept art. Okay. Okay, then let's take this, paste the component values. Okay. And the old maw, I just want to make sure anything in here that was there is also present. Character animation binder. Okay. The space maw. Okay, what else? That's it. I can delete the old one. So it's probably the kind of thing that is caused by either a Unity upgrade or a Pro Builder upgrade. That object used to work just fine. I got something janky going on with its UV. I have no idea what. This guy will pull in a little bit to fill the gap. That was the original reason for using it. Okay, let's just give it another roll. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm thinking a little bit, do I want to... Do I want to exercise bloom in here? Like I could have its mouth glowing a little bit. Let me see what that looks like. A little hard for it to show in the initial view. DZ, what's going on? Well, that's just crazy. Got no alpha. That's a funny problem. I'd like to go to sleep, but I'm too lazy to. I just don't have enough energy to go to sleep. That sounds like it would require work. Maybe it does require work. Maybe you've got 5 flights of stairs to go to reach your bed. Maybe you're like a Dr. Seuss character living in a land of inconveniently arranged households. Well, I would have to modify my texture so that there's proper alpha to pull that off. So I resurrected an old scene, Unity scene that had some stuff in it, and it all broke, but I'm going to get it fixed. Let's turn off emission, and I'll show you real quick. So when M dies, the very first time in the game, she goes to this place I call the Deathbox. And this mouth is going to sing her a little song about how she's died and she's going to be resurrected. And then Knives cut her up into pieces, and that's part of her resurrection. Knives just, you can see they're kind of following her around wherever she goes. I'll play the song for you if you've got a minute. Let's see.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed. Oh, little nothing, you are afraid that all your pieces fell apart, they fell below. Oh, little nothing, where did they go? We see you here, your sad little face. Come to cry, come to beg for our grace. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Will we put you back together? That's the plan. Cause we got the knife. We'll fix you, we'll slice you, we'll bite you, we'll grind you, unwind you. Because we got the knife. We'll find you, to hurt you, we'll hurt you, we'll advise you, surprise you. We got the knife. We'll feel you, defeat you, complete you, devour you, empower you. Because we got the knife. One more back to life, just one more back to life. It's gonna be the knife. We got the knives. Think hard, little child, before you go someplace wild.
So anyways, stuff left to do. I need to get his mouth animations working again. They were working before. Thank you. The knives will plunge down. There's a little thing where I can change the stab amount and it makes them move in towards her. And there's various effects like blood effects and then, I don't know. Yeah, stab amount. Let's see. I could demo that. That's pretty easy to demo. Pull this out over here. And so each knife has a stab amount. Now, if I'm at 0, it's all the way up in its original position, and then I go down to 1, and it gets closer to M. So she'll be walking around and getting stabbed a whole bunch, and little blood sprays coming off her. And it'll be timed to the music. So, yeah. Fun stuff. So, I opened this up after about a year of not looking at it and different things were broken. I'm just going through and fixing them. Next thing on the list is to, dock off to the right. Come on, go back. There we go. There we go. Next thing on the list is to get his mouth animations working again. easiest way to do that to start is I'll just create a Visine value that'll set the mouth animation. So I'll try that first. Mod controller. Do public Visine. Make sure this works. All right, hit play. Let's take this out of full screen. It'd be easier to get to the inspector. Hey DC, how's your game project going with that other team? I always forget the name of it. That online RPG thing. Okay. Good. That's cool. Yeah, it sounds kind of like a typical thing when you start a project as a new coder, and maybe the lead developer doesn't have that much time to delegate or coordinate. Yeah, then you end up kind of doing like side stuff that's not in the exact same code base that he's working, or like the exact same code that he's touching. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure you'll be deep into the project if you just stick with it. Alright, so that works. Glad that works. Okay. And I can even just delete that code because I've proven that that works. Okay, what next? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad it's working for you. It looks like a cool project. Okay, so get the song to play. Yeah. I'm gonna play the song. How was it done before? I think it was done. Okay, so that I just said, oh, go ahead and just play a speech audio. And it reminds me, I haven't really thought out my songs that well. As far as like which system it's gonna, the songs with lyrics I haven't thought out that well. Because it's in this gray area between character speech and music. So let me do a little bit of design. Let's see. My requirements. Song. It's a little bit along those lines, I admit. I tend to stay away from pop culture references, but yeah, that I admit that we can rebuild you, we have the technology line was in my head. Song plays without any gaps. Mean I don't want to chop the song up into like one per line, which the speech system would tend to want. Subtitles shown. Stopping myself from saying what the solution will be, just say what are the requirements. Animated mouth movements. And I'll say I want my preferable to use my lips tool. Lips authoring tool for visine authoring. Yeah, I think that's it basically. Okay. So number one, the first way to do it. One other requirement. All right, so I just gotta think, how is each thing done? Create animation timeline for subtitles and knife movements. that means disable subtitle corresponding. Okay, play above with speech. Say. That's not bad. Number 2. Say one other thing. Preferable to have karaoke style lyrics instead of normal subtitles. Let me see. Say more specific what I'm after. To have syllable timing on lyrics. Manage plugins. I have to say no because I have questions like, what are you talking about? So that must mean I haven't. But let me take a look just to see, instead of asking you what they are. I'm guessing C# managed plugins. Oh, it's a Unity thing. Okay. Yeah. I guess what I have done is I made ASM defs to define different manifests for different parts of the project. Yeah. So I think I don't understand how to make a managed plugin. I understand maybe a little bit about how to create the ASM defs to build just separate certain parts of the project as something discrete. I think I'm kind of curious. If I go into scripts and look at the ASM def, is there some ability to output as a DLL from here? Huh. Yeah. So yeah, I'm no expert on this at all. You're probably knowing more about it than I do. Also, I'm just curious if my ASM defs make DLLs. So if I say search I think maybe I do have that. So if I look for scripts DLL, or scripts DLL, Okay, where are these being built? Okay. So yeah. So here's one thing I just learned right now for the first time. As a result of me declaring those Gamedev files, it does build a DLL, and it puts it in this data managed scripts DLL. So all I did to make that happen, I'm not saying that's all you need to do for whatever your project is create the Gamedev file here. So I just said create assembly definition, and you know there's more than one of these. So like I think I've got one for my level controllers. Let me see, project level controllers. Bam. Okay. So level controllers, I'm guessing if I look here, I'm going to find level controllers DLL. Yeah. So I didn't even know I was doing this, but I am building the DLLs, and they're being put inside of this managed directory. So I'm just guessing that's the way to do it. Make the assembly definition. Yeah. Okay, so I do have another facility where in the, let me see if I've got one example of this. I can edit inside of Logic Pro positions of lyrics. Let's see, let's go to, made them small. So we'll close this. All right, so what is this? How do I get this track to show? I forget. That's the problem with this program. There's like so many UI maze type things to figure out how to get to certain views. What was it? Secondary ruler? No. Jesus, I cannot remember how I did this. I can see it right in front of me that it's got the information, but how did I get to it? It's this place where I can put in at certain points in the song that some text goes there. Piano roll, score editor. Let's try score editor. No. I mean, it's really cool to see my song in sheet music, but no, that's not what I wanted. Window, view. Okay. Logic X. Add MIDI text. Yeah. So there are text events inside of MIDI. No. No, that's like display. No, I need it to be a MIDI event. Nope, that's not the thing I need. Okay, maybe if I go back to my code, it will remind me what the name of the event type was. Okay, MIDI event type. What else? That's in third-party source. Audio. Although I think maybe this is editor stuff, so let's go look at editor. Editor audio, there we go. Lyric analyzer, okay. Markers. Okay, let's work with that for the search tip. Logic X, add text marker. I hate their official documentation because it doesn't actually show any screens, which is, yeah. So just show me how to get the friggin' screen.
Let me show you a tip of how to use markers and marker text in
Yes.
Logic 9 or 10 to have your lyrics appear in sync with the song which
Yes.
is playing, which is very
Yes.
useful
Show
for
me.
singers who are
Show-
10.
show me.
It's called Helena Beat and it's by a band called Foster the People. It's a lovely song.
Don't play the song because I'll get into broadcast problems with YouTube. Just show me friggin' screen where it lets me. Don't friggin' play it. Don't play it. I do not want to play any music from a YouTube video ever in something that I'm going to export to YouTube. Okay, that. How did you get to that? That's all I care about. Marker. Okay.
You can see there are no markers.
He clicked something over here. Let me see if I've got that. That's what it is. That's all it is. All that nonsense because like UI is so not searchable to figure out how to get to things. Okay. So I could put a whole bunch of markers in here, which is what I did before. That would give me the karaoke style stuff. I could also use these markers as timing events for the knives as well. Yeah. I'm starting to like this approach. It's already got code for it. Let me see, how does karaoke player get called? Okay, so set lyric. Which I know this works just fine. So let's see, set lyric. Song manager. Okay, so the way this works is okay. How does karaoke player get set? Okay. So it discovers a karaoke player if it's in the scene. But okay, that interface might get changed around a little bit. Okay. Music file has lyric markers. Some lyric markers have an animation code. Have a, I don't know, knife trigger code. Davey, I'm making the weirdest shit right now. It might even live up to the levels of weirdness that you get to. I'll show you in a second. How's stuff going for you? Okay, then Generalize the karaoke interface. Alright. So, you be the weirdness judge. I'll show you. I'll hit play and I'll show you. And you give me a weirdness score between 0 and 100. 100 is like the weirdest stuff, like, you know, you went on an elevator ride with an evil version of Willy Wonka and there were goblins there. Alright, here we go. Okay, so this level is called the Deathbox. The first time you die, you go here, and there's this mouth that you walk on top of. There's a creature called the Maw. The Maw sings to you a song about how he will resurrect you by cutting you up with knives. And all the knives up above, they're all pointing at you. And they stab down at different points in the music. And it's bad that you're getting all cut up and it's painful. But he is resurrecting you, so you get to come back to life. So that's what I'm working on. Well, it's gonna have animation of lip movement along with the song, so his mouth will be moving along with the song. Yeah, I'll play the song for you. Let's see.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed. Oh, little nothing, you are afraid that all your pieces fell apart, they fell below. A little
This is
nothing,
how I want to do it.
where did they go? We see you here, your sad little face. Come to cry, come to beg for our grace. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back together? Yes, we can. Can we put you back
Yep.
together? Yes, we can. Will we put you back together? That's the plan. 'Cause we got the knife. To fix you, to slice you, to bite you, to grind you, unwind you. Because we got the knife. To find you, to hurt you, revert you, revise you, comprise you. We got to steal you, reveal you, defeat you, complete you, devour you, empower you. Because we got the knife. One way back to life, just one way back to life. It's gonna be the knife. We got the knives. Think hallelujah, we'll go someplace wild.
Well, thanks, man. That's one of the things I'm the most cringy about as far as what I produce is the music with lyrics in it. I'm hoping to get some people that are better singers than me involved for a few other songs that are in the game too. But yeah, you just go to this weird little box and the dude sings at you with his giant scary mouth and the knives cut into you and then you're born again. Thank you, I appreciate it. So I think this is the way to go, number 2. So I've already got code that will let me break up the song so that different syllables are there at different places. Let's see. Minus is extra work to write text display code. But plus don't need to write knife timing code. Okay. Think about localizing. So if I've got the song and the intent is to display it with the karaoke style, your game's thumbnail. Can you show it? Like, is it a video or? Let's see. Let's see. Image share website. I don't know. So it's like these kind of things, if any of them are some pasteboard, that sounds simple. Yeah, this looks pretty simple. Yeah, you could show it to me that way. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I like number 2. Now I'm just thinking, if I were to localize it later, okay, let's just say if localizing later, disable karaoke display and show subtitle display. Instead, could use specific lyric markers to trigger. Anyways, solvable. Localization is solvable later with more work. Okay. So I think it's number 2. Kinda. So I was just figuring out like what exact format I want my data files in to achieve a whole bunch of goals up above. Okay, so that's fine. Let me start by just getting the song to play from inside of here. That won't be too hard. What are these? WAVs? Yeah, they're WAVs. Okay. I could put in all the markers for the lyrics. That'll be a really annoying session, though. It'll be like, bloop. Oh, and a lot of audio scrubbing. Just bloop, 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 bloop. Real annoying. That's probably something I'll do off stream. So anyways, let's just start with, we got the knives.wav. Yeah, it's like one of the most unfriendly streams too. It's just to have audio scrubbing inside of a stream. So for something like that, I might as well just go off stream. Wait, I thought you didn't have enough energy to fall asleep. I thought it was just too, like, you know, you're lazy and you couldn't fall asleep. It's too much work to fall asleep. Anyways, have a good night, DZ. We got the knives. Okay, I gotta do addressable. What else did I do on these other ones? I didn't do normal. I did do normalize. Okay, that's fine. Okay, do I want to do that preload thing? I don't know. I should figure out what this actually means. Preload audio data. Unity preload audio data. What does that actually affect? Don't be a video. Okay, thank you. Okay, where is the preload option discussed? Nowhere? Really? You discussed everything else except preload? Maybe it was added after. Oh, cool. Let's take a look. Twitch. Oh, dude, that looks cool. That looks real good. That's your thumbnail. Yeah, let me see. Let's get it like a thumbnail type size. Well, it's massive. Okay, that's probably more like your target size, I'm guessing. No, that's good. It's got some strength to it. Yeah, I like, for the repetition along here, how the pattern is not all the same. That makes it a lot more interesting to look at. Like these lines here, they're popping in not at regular intervals, but you know, something stochastic going on there. And then, you know, this sort of kind of chaos up above with the bloom effect. Looks pretty good. Now, it doesn't tell me much of anything about the game. That's the only downside to it. Like, I look at that and I say, this is like kind of a weird art game, maybe. I'll try it out, I guess, but I have no idea what it's going to be. That's the only bad thing about the thumbnail here. But that might be appropriate, because if you're trying to surprise the person when they play the game, yeah. Understood. Just thinking a little bit like other ones that did the same thing. Let me see. Outside game. Boat, it's going well. Or was it inside? God, what was that? Inside game. Okay, I guess they overlaid it on top of other things. I love Inside. Did you make it to the end? Did you see the ending? I don't want to talk about the ending if you haven't seen the ending. Like, it's that good, you know. Anyways, I'm trying to think of something else. Lost logo. Yeah, I don't want to mess up for Boat. Boat, I don't even want to tell you what the end of the Inside game is, because you might get cheated if I did. But it was like, when I got there, I felt really, really gratified. I was like, yes, now is my time, that kind of feeling. Nice. I always kind of like the Lost logo. If you ever seen Lost, and it's so simple. They just pull in this logo and rotate it in, and then it just starts getting blurry as it gets closer to you, and then it only plays one little sound, and it was good. This Lost logo is not as good. Anyways, let me see if I can get that song to play at the beginning. I don't want the mod controller to start it though. Let's make the level controller start it. So let's add a level controller, because that's the correct way inside of my own architecture to make these things happen. And let's see. Okay, on level start, then let's do song manager. Yes. Play song. Well, how so? So when you say leveling system, you mean like the player-controlled character has different stats that get upgraded? Yeah. Let's see. Play song. Let me see where else I did a play song. Okay, so then I say whether it loops or not. So let's add a false. Don't loop. Okay, then come back to here. On the main object, we put in Deathbox. There we go. And let's see if the song plays. Yeah. Okay, song plays. Good. Okay, what next? Let's get the MIDI file in there and do the analysis that generates the extra data for the song. So for that, I tell you, a year ago I had it moving along with the music, and then some things broke and got rewritten. So I know it'll work. I know it will work. Just gotta get it going again. make sure I do this as a copy and not a move. Okay, so there's that. Do I have other mids in there? Yeah, I had to rename to put bytes on the end in order for them to get loaded properly. Use bytes. Do it. Okay, so then inside the editor, I think I've got, I don't have a music analyzer yet here, so let's just add that. Music what? Song analyzer, that one. Okay, so then I take the MIDI file here. Okay, I'll do this. It's going to look at the MIDI file. Did it write some files? Streaming assets pre-processed. We got the knives.meta.bytes. Okay. There are quite a few. Now the song the guy sings is making a claim that they have the knives, so it's necessary that there are knives to back up his claim. Let's see. So it would have exported off to streaming assets. Pre-process. Yeah, that's where it went. Okay. Not the best location. I could put it someplace better. Okay, we got the knives made of bytes. And we go into, just can do a cut. Nope. Okay. Project. Audio. Songs. Okay, so now that that's there, what that should give me is, all right, Davey, I'll see you around. Got the knives. Not know why I decided I was going to call this file meta, and then I have meta.bytes.meta at some point. It's just don't do that. I'll have to rename that at some point. Okay, let me see if it was at least good at figuring out key changes. Yes.
Oh, little nothing, you have strayed. Oh, little nothing, you are afraid that all your pieces fell apart. They fell below. Oh, little nothing, where did they go? We see you
Some of the
here,
key changes
your
are off.
sad little face. Come to cry, come to...
Okay, also, what's this? Oh, the beat number. What's that about? Calc beat number it's not working for that. Might be I need to mark it as addressable. There's a good chance that's the problem. Let's see. That one's not addressable. Let's find one that is, just to yeah, okay. Mark it as addressable. That's weird, it's got two addressables. So if I come over here, oh, that's kind of cool. Shows a text preview underneath. Okay, so we got the knives made. I'll do the top one. Good, it does the bottom one too. All right, so let's see if that fixes a few things. Play away. I still see errors down there, so gotta figure out what that is. For key equals we got the knives dot meta dot bytes. Do I need to apply? Oh, that's for the MIDI. Okay. I don't need that to be addressable. Boy, these file names are confusing. Okay, so is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Okay. Let's try that again. So something's off. What is it? Explicit update for plane level. Okay, did load the meta file in. That's fine. I really do need to call it something besides meta, though. It's just going to be so confusing. Okay, some kind of exception here. So maybe because I didn't set the active zone checks. Okay. Board? Maybe board is not set. Alright, try this again. I don't think this particular problem has anything to do with the music. Board is null. Okay. Question is, why is board null?
You have strayed. A little.
Why is board null? Or in other words, what sets board to not be null, and why is it? Because I didn't call the base. That's why. So if I go to Deathbox, I need to call base on level start or effects. There we go.
Did they go? We see you here. You're sad.
I'm guessing that the MIDI file that I sent off has got like all the percussion tracks in it. And that's probably why the key changes are not sounding right. So if I come back to here and I play this MIDI file, yeah, it's got the percussion in it. Okay. Also, it's super long. What the hell? Wow, I guess maybe it wasn't that long. Okay, okay, so that's fine. I've successfully gotten the MIDI file to be used for analysis. It's just got data in it that's not saying the key change is right. The beat controller would be working fine. Let's see what else. What else do I want to do in this session? Because there's a bunch of stuff I can do. I think I'm going to go off stream and work on putting the events inside of the song, which has got a whole bunch of audio scrubbing stuff that is a little nasty to do on stream. So if anyone's lurking, thanks for hanging out, and I'm going to stop the stream, and I'll catch you later on, maybe tomorrow. Stopping the stream now.